It's the month of blessings, forgiveness, and salvation from eternal suffering. And I hope that such blessed days will be an instrument for peace and stability. Just like our Creator brought us to the holy month of Ramadan, may He also bring us together with our friends and family and loved ones in great health and security, and we hope that He delivers us to the Eid that comes at the end of the month. This is a holy month during which the gates of blessing is open to the end, and we try to experience it in line with its spirit. As poets say, fasting is a reviving wind which comes down from the mountain of inspiration. It gives us the holy water. Yes, it is a festival of spirits and a month of revival, and in line with our civilization values, we also translate it into coming back to ourselves. Last month, at the complex of the Çamlıca Mosque, which is one of the landmarks of Istanbul, we have inaugurated the Museum of Islamic Works. Our glorious history is being carried over to the present day and to the future, and it's an important step to bring it to our people. Today, we are inaugurating the Ayasofya Fatih Madrasa, and with that, we are reviving another important work for the city whose marks were being raised. After the conquest of Istanbul, this was built as the first madrasa of the city right next to Ayasofya. The first lecturer was Molla Hüsrev in this important madrasa, and Ali Kuşçu was one of the scholars who studied here as well. The madrasa went through different reparations and rebuildings. Until 1924, it continued its services of education and training, and for a while after that, it was used as an orphanage. And then, because it disrupted the silhouette, it was taken down. By ripping it away from its main identity, Ayasofya was turned into a museum, and the same mentality could not tolerate this madrasa. This belonged to the foundation of Sultan Mehmet the Conqueror, and it was a center of scholarly studies for many centuries, and silently it was abolished and removed. But each foundation property is also an important heritage trusted to us. But despite this, for a certain time period, Turkey was unable to protect its cultural or civilizational heritage or the heritage of our ancestors. Especially during the mentality of the single-party regime, many crimes have been committed in this regard. During this time period, in the name of westernization, important injuries were created in our national identity and the hearts of our nation. An admirer of the Byzantine and more pro-West than the West itself, this mentality also was unable to protect our civilizational heritage. Just like at the Fatih Madrasa of Ayasofya, because of negligence or ignorance or to take revenge, historic monuments have been taken down and hundreds of important works that are contained within have been lost. Hundreds of mosques which survived for centuries have been sold or rented out or used as museums or stables. The Suriçi region, the internal city in Fatih was a place with 800 smaller mosques, and these mosques have, unfortunately, most of them have been taken down, they were sold, or they were turned into animal barns during the single party regime. Our Quran courses were closed down, and such places of scholarly studies have been shut off. Anything that belongs to the spirit and the civilization of our nation was cleared because they represented backwardness. And by opening this, we're not only protecting our heritage, but we are also helping cure another problem that was inflicted by the single party regime. This important monument that we're inaugurating is the madrasa that was destructed 86 years ago, and it was rebuilt in line with the architectural style and materials of the time. For more than 4 centuries, countless scholars have studied here at the Fatih Madrasa in Ayasofya, and from now on it will continue serving as a center of education. It will be under our Fatih Sultan Mehmet University, and it will be a center of application and research centers, and hopefully the scholars and the intellectuals and scientists of the futures or researchers of the future will study here. This is an important monument which was completed in as short as 13 months. And I congratulate the ministry and other institutions and undertakers, the designers and workers who have contributed to the rebuilding of this important work. And may God, we thank God for giving us the opportunity to revive another piece within this complex. Today, in addition to the madrasa, the traditional arts and national unity exhibitions will be inaugurated as well. Calligraphy, tesip, and China, and other important monuments, important works in our traditional arts will be exhibited in this exhibition. Late Cemil Meriç, as I see these tall, plain trees, it reminded me of his poem. Trees live, they survive on their roots, and so do people. Nations survive despite the destructive and corruptive effects of the time. Nations survive on their roots, which means their depth in culture and science. Our nation has a history of thousands of years, and it has a deep and multifaceted cultural know-how. This cultural treasure develops over time, and despite the many attacks and destruction, our ancestors have been able to survive thanks to this important civilizational know-how. In the past 20 years, we have taken steps in order to revive our old values and to strengthen our links with our roots. From education to academia, or from arts and culture to architecture, in every area, from past to the future, we are trying to establish solid bridges. We keep our connection to this root strong so that we can arrive at our targets faster, and we can be more secure of our future. The Western culture and lifestyle in particular have invaded the whole world, and by protecting our own identity is the only way we can continue our existence. Our people of culture and science are historians, politicians, municipalities, artists, foundations, and NGOs. All segments of our society have important roles to fulfill. As the government, we fulfill our part, and we know, on the other hand, that it is you who would revive these parts of the work and keep it going. May God help us. And as I conclude my remarks, I once again wish that the Ayasofya Fatih Madrasa, of course we will hand this over to you, and you have to make it work in the best way possible. May this be auspicious for the city and our nation. And once again, I commemorate the conqueror of Istanbul, Sultan Mehmet II, and all other figures and martyrs who have given this to us as their gift. Together with Ayasofya, we hope that in no minaret of any mosque our calls to prayers will be missing. Once again, my greetings and cordial regards to all of you.
Cumhurbaşkanımız Sayın Recep Tayyip Erdoğan'a konuşmalar için çok teşekkür ediyor ve Sayın Cumhurbaşkanımızı bir müddet daha sahnede misafir ediyoruz. Değerli konuklar, Cumhurbaşkanımız Recep Tayyip Erdoğan, ihyası gerçekleştirilerek hizmete sunulan Ayasofya Fatih Medresesi açılışını kurdele kesmek suretiyle gerçekleştirecektir. Sayın Cumhurbaşkanımıza refakat etmek üzere Türkiye Büyük Millet Meclisi Başkanımızı, Sayın Genel Başkan Vekillerimizi, Sayın Bakanlarımızı, Sayın Genel Başkan Yardımcılarımızı, Sayın Milletvekillerimizi, Sayın Vakıflar Genel Müdürünü, Diyanet İşleri Başkanımızı ve Türk Devletleri Teşkilatı üye ülkeleri dini ve idare başkanlarını, Sayın İstanbul Valimizi, Sayın AK Parti İstanbul İl Başkanımızı ve belediye başkanlarımızı sahneye davet ediyorum. Buyurunuz lütfen. Ve 2 kız öğrencimizi sahneye davet ediyoruz. Buyurun lütfen.